everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of, a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me per usual, we got Alex, also known as the Brawn and the Dad, and we got Brian, known as the Beard, New Reliable, and Mr. Negative on a Dragon Ball Z Redemption arc.
Let's go.
How you guys all doing?
Doing fantastic.
It's spooky.
It's spooky season.
Is it spooky? It was like 80 degrees here today.
Well, when this comes out, spooky will already be over, but whatever.
Rest in peace, spooky.
It's still spooky season.
They still celebrate it through their early November. Whatever. I don't know.
Happy Halloween all year, guys.
Hell yeah, brother. We're a bunch of big titty goth women in this podcast. What?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
We're switching it up.
We're moving on.
Yeah. So, listeners, before we head into some stuff, check the time codes if you want to skip sections or avoid spoilers or anything like that. But we got a fun, interesting, spooktacular show today for you listeners. So, guys, should we just head into our first segment of the week?
Let's get it.
I'm ready for it.
News talk.
First and only piece of news this week, but it's a big one. Xbox very recently had what they are calling a partner preview, which is, they basically made their own Sony State of Play, which is nice because it was only like 25-ish minutes, which is great, where they don't not really announce a lot of stuff, but they showed some cool stuff, and we're going to rattle off some things because, like usual, whenever one of these happens, we don't care about all of it. So we're going to hit the stuff that we want to talk about.
I never heard of any of these things. Well, maybe a couple of them.
He said, "What is any of this? What is this?"
I also need to write an email to their marketing team. What is partner preview? Who came up with this? They found two words that had the same letter and ran with it.
Well, to be fair, like they probably would have like tried to complete the alliteration, but they couldn't find words that start with X. Yeah. So let's get into it, and we got to start with, I think, from internet's reaction and our reaction, the biggest thing, most surprising and also cool, Metal Gear Solid Triangle. It's called Delta, but whatever. Snake Eater.
Let's go.
The remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. We got its first look of in-engine stuff. It's only like a minute and a half, but it looks good.
I'm pumped. Is this only on Xbox? Are all these things Xbox only?
No, they are not.
Oh, thank God.
Because this was first announced at Sony, I think, during like a Sony State of Play. I think was when it was.
You guys know this is my favorite Metal Gear game, and yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to play this.
Yeah, I've actually never played. Well, I did play it. I played a little bit. I never finished this game. So I'm excited to actually. Well, I'm probably gonna play it once in the. They're not remasters. Reimagine. I don't know what it is.
They're re-releases.
It's re-release of the game.
They're shiny though.
They made it slightly better. I think they're in 1080p, which is not what they were.
Wait, the Snake Eater one or
the original Snake Eater? They just released the trilogy.
They released the volume 1 of the Metal Gear collection. And apparently it's not very good.
Okay. I'm getting confused with all the Metal Gear news that I'm seeing, which is similar to the story. So they released the original series, the trilogy or whatever, and then they also remade just Snake Eater?
So they're remaking 3, but they're also releasing all of them in quote-unquote remasters, and they released Volume 1, which contains Metal Gear 1, 2, 3, and like the Nintendo like Metal Gear games, 2 of them.
Okay.
And then Volume 2 is, we don't know, but obviously would probably be 3, 4, and 5, and maybe Peace Walker or whatever. But yeah, apparently this new one, pretty crunchy, not the best, probably overpriced. But yeah, it's out.
So I wonder, are they this Delta Snake Eater? I would consider a remaster, though, right? Yeah, like it's revamped.
I would say it's more of a remake.
I guess it's like akin to Final Fantasy VII.
It depends if they're changing stuff or not, or if it's just like a reskinned new engine.
Well, it doesn't look like tank controls, so that's a pretty good start.
Well, they did that back in 2000s. Also, that was the first time I played it.
Yeah, we've always had this discussion of what makes a remaster and what makes a remake.
We could go in all day.
Yeah, either way, yeah, it's weird what they're doing, because now it's like I want to play that collection, even though I hear it's not great. But I still want to play it, but I don't want to play 3 on there if this is coming out,
Right, it's like you might as well wait.
Yeah, this looks really, really cool.
I don't know, I heard the thing about the trilogy, and some of the criticisms I heard were like not deal breakers for me personally. I don't know how much it costs. If it's like $60-$70, that's kind of stupid, but
I think it is.
Yeah. I mean, the 1080p, the 30 frames per second for the first game, like none of that really, I don't know, that doesn't bother me, but people have like really harsh complaints about that. I do know you can't change the aspect ratio on PC, which is kind of annoying, and there's some bugs.
I think the thing is that, like, I think people kind of hope that it would be more of a, not like a remake like this new Snake Eater is going to be, but like some kind of upping. It seems mostly like it's just a port from the HD collection that came out on PS3 or 4, 5.
Maybe that's why it
6
doesn't
years
bother
ago.
me, because I didn't get that.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with it, whatever. But it's mostly like now I'm still in that rock in a hard place where
What do you get?
I don't think I'm gonna get it, because if Snake Eater goes well, maybe that means we'll get a remake of 1 and 2, and I'd rather just wait for that. You know.
But you need to play that.
I know it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I don't know, but yeah, this looks great. It looks very much like Metal Gear 5. It's using Unreal Engine, which is different. It's not the Fox engine anymore, which I did see some people complain about, but whatever. I don't know.
Would they even be able to use the Fox engine anymore?
Yeah, it's the thing. I don't know if that. I think actually they might. I think Konami probably owns that, to be honest. Not Kojima, I would imagine.
Okay.
Yeah, I would imagine, because Kojima with Death Stranding, he used a different. It's not the Fox engine. It's a different engine.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, but that and no dialogue yet. That I think that's a big thing that on people's mind are, will we get David Hayter? Is it going to be re-recorded dialogue?
Oh,
Is it going to be the
interesting.
same? Just kind of, you know, I don't know. But either way, I'm very excited for this game.
Yeah, I just found out that collection costs $60. Never mind.
Yep.
Ow,
Yeah.
that's a lot. I mean, but it is like it's 3 games at least.
Wasn't the Grand Theft Auto one only 40 though? It still sucked, but it was only 40.
I feel like that one was
It might have started at
I don't
60. It
know.
went down to 30. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
The only other thing that I really like, kind of, they weren't really popping that much, was obviously the RoboCop Rogue City. I had no idea this game existed till like last week, and I hear that it might be like the best mid-level game.
That game looks like, well, it doesn't look like it artistically. Sure, it looks fine. But like gameplay wise, this looks like every bit of like the kind of game you would make in 2005. Like it looks,
Yes.
it gives it very like hard Duke Nukem Forever vibes. Of, like, yeah, you just wanted to make something that like everybody was making back in the day, but you didn't really know how to do it very well. But also, no one's even making this kind of game anymore. So I don't know what the fuck is happening here.
One for the bros.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you can shoot a bunch of people in the dick, so that's funny.
I mean, that's cool. I was never a big RoboCop fan. Hot take. I thought he's pretty boring. Also, imagine dying and finally get to rest. They still like, we're gonna give you a job.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
I died to get out of having a job. This sucks.
Life sucks.
Yeah, I never saw RoboCop or the remake. I don't really care too much about RoboCop.
The original RoboCop is good. I think it's a good movie.
Okay.
Good satire, basically, on
Interesting.
a lot of shit. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably not gonna play this. I was hoping there was a demo just so I could try it, because I'm not gonna play this game, but it looks fun.
This looks like a demo.
It comes
version.
on Game Pass. I'll play
it. And then the only other thing popped up to me was Still Wakes the Deep. This is a game we've seen and talked about before. It gives me Outlast feels. It's like a horror movie. It looks like it takes place like in an oil rig or some shit on the water. But I will say my criticism about this is that this demo just looked like the same fucking thing we've seen every time they showcase this game. They have yet, at least from my memory, showing what the hell it's about. So I'm like, I just get it out.
Yeah.
Get it out of here.
It's just me
Looks
doing
kinda
shit.
Scary.
And that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't really fuck with me. Like, I'm hearing wailing and stuff.
I like the vibes, but I need more.
Yeah. At least give me like a jump scare cut or something before you like end the
Right. But it's just like,
trailer.
nope, it just ended. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that was weird. Anticlimactic. Alex, you wanted to talk about Manor Lords.
Yeah, I was going through these games that I never heard of, and Manor Lords crossed my mind, and it reminded me of our good dear friend Devin, who is MIA today. But I know that he is crazy about a very similar sounding game called Banner Lords with a B. And I'm just trying to figure out if this is the same damn game or not. I'm going to assume that this is a prequel, a sequel, or a remake or a remaster of one of Devin's favorite games that's not Rocket League, called Banner Lords, in which you replay historical events and or make up your own historical events and possibly play historical characters in real life, real-time strategy-based simulations. I think that's what the game is about, but I don't really know. It always sounds confusing, complicated, and kind of cool every time Devin gets into it. And that's kind of what this game, Manor Lords, looks like. So I'm going to say it's a prequel because M comes before B. No, it's... I thought it was Banner Lords. It's Banner Lords. I'm getting the letters mixed up in my head. I got to go to bed.
It's been a long day.
you don't know any of this stuff. You don't know what the fuck they made.
The confidence he said that M comes before B, though.
M does come before P, but that's not what we're talking about.
It looks like, from the little things I've seen about Banner Lord, which is Mountain Blade Banner Lord 2 is what he's talking about specifically. It looks very similar. Like,
right.
really similar. So
we'll have to shoot this one to Devin.
Yeah, someone's been cheating off someone's homework. Devin might love this game.
Yeah, he's gonna go out and buy an Xbox just to play this one.
Right, for real.
I hope it is a prequel, sequel, Banner Lords spinoff, because that's
fun.
cool.
What a sleeper hit!
It's on PC
Devin.
Game Pass day one, baby. So I'll play it and then make fun of it so you can't play.
I gotta go review the alphabet after this though.
Last thing that they showed, I just noticed. It's about to come out, but word is it's very good. Alan Wake 2. This last little bit that they showed looks good. I ain't gonna play it, but it looks good.
It's getting amazing reviews.
I feel like I'm having a Mandela effect around this Alan Wake 2 game, because I swear a sequel came out about 8 years ago.
So they remastered. They did remaster it, the first one.
They remastered it, I think, last year.
Was it last year?
Last year? Are we sure?
The original Alan Wake probably came out 8 years ago.
Oh shit! I thought the original was like 10, 15 years ago. I just feel like Alan Wake is always in the cultural conversation, man. And it's only the second one.
They were working on one for a long time, and then I think it kind of like went under, and that's what kind of fucked them up. And then
you know what? Well, good for them staying relevant in my mind, at least.
They pulled Psychonauts.
I've never played Alan Wake.
Me either. It always looked interesting. I always liked the concept, but I just heard it was just kind of not very well executed.
Yeah, I heard it was like a good solid 7 out of 10, probably. Like a decent game, but probably gets kind of boring and lingers along a little too much. I have it. I just never played it. Literally on it.
I think I have the remaster they put out from PS Plus.
I might have
but
both.
also haven't touched it.
To be honest, yeah, might have both.
Nice.
Yeah, good for them. Like this, apparently another game of the year. This year has been nuts with games, which is weird because I also feel like I haven't played many games. But it's like apparently there have been amazing games this year.
I can name 2 of them.
Yeah, Alex recently got 2 of them, so there you go. But yeah, Alan Wake still looks dope.
Yeah, they're saying this might be who makes these games? Remedy Entertainment. It might be their best game ever made, and they're the people that made Max Payne, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and Control, which is a really high.
I was about to say, didn't they also make Control?
Which once again, I have it, still never played it.
Same here.
I played a couple hours of it. It was pretty cool, but
yeah.
I haven't gotten too far into it. But it would be a really cool movie. I just didn't at the time. I just didn't want to invest all the time to uncover the story.
I mean, that's fair.
But it was fun. I haven't gotten back into it yet. We'll see. Maybe Alan Wake 2 will be cream of the crop.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. That is it. That is the news, which means that is the first segment of the week. Guys, shall we now move into our main topic?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
What? First, we're trapped in another fortress. This is a spooky fortress.
Ooh.
No, it's after the spooky day, but whatever. No, technically, it's still a spooky day. In the day after Day of the Dead. So it's spookiness. It's spookiness.
It's very spooky.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some spooky stuff. Not traditionally spooky stuff, but we'll get to it. It's in the title, I think. Whatever we decide to call this episode, because we're in the fortress of
spooky stuff.
The spooky stuff that isn't spooky.
That isn't really spooky,
but it's still spooky.
I swear we've done something like this before, but we're gonna pretend that we didn't.
I don't remember. we need someone to we need a lore person on. We need a lore master for the podcast.
A
historian for the fortress.
Does someone want to do that for us?
Yeah. The scariest thing is being in your 30s and not having a memory.
Yes, listeners. So we're in the fortress of spooky stuff that's not really spooky, unintentionally spooky stuff, ironically spooky stuff. Basically anything that you find or we find spooky that you wouldn't traditionally think is spooky, a la a horror movie, basically. So yeah, this should be a fun time. We're gonna kind of just talk about what we got. Some of us have more in-depth things than others, but we'll get into that. There might be some spoilers for some shit, but I don't think it'll be more recent stuff, at least for me. But just check the time codes in case anything does pop up. I don't know. We'll see.
Who knows?
With that, Alex,
I'll tip us off.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got really inspired in the holiday season. And yeah, I started thinking a lot about things that scare me and things that aren't supposed to be scary. And I really got into the idea of romantic comedies. I really think that romantic comedies are actually horror movies with just a different, like a lens modifier on there. You play some happy music, You give them some soft lighting, and it's not as scary. But you start peeling away some of the layers, the subtext, horrifying. I'll give you some examples.
Yes, please.
So the whole idea behind so many romantic comedies, and this is romantic comedies, not romantic dramas. I'm not talking about The Notebook, or Twilight. Romantic comedies specifically.
Twilight is scary. You're right.
Have you seen that baby in the last movie? That baby is terrifying. That is a horror
that
movie.
might be scary, not ironically scary or unintentionally scary. So romantic comedies, the whole concept on so many of these is that two strangers inevitably, in a lot of cases, are meeting in some haphazardly weird way. They're swapping phones by accident at the bar, or they're accidentally going to the wrong vacation home and now they're in each other's opposite house, or they misplace their engagement ring and the person that they bumped into at the store has their engagement ring and they have this other cheap little donut or something, or they're buying out somebody's business. And inevitably, all these people just fall in love with each other. They trust each other unconditionally. They swap in phones and yeah, sure, I'll give you your phone back. Yeah, let's meet up for coffee. In the real world, that none of this shit would happen. If somebody swaps phones with you by accident, they're gonna keep that phone. They're gonna steal your identity. They're gonna know your address, your grandmother's address, your aunt's address.
Not your grandmother.
To be fair, to not to completely dissect your point, but I do know people that are now together because one guy hit the other girl's car.
that is a romantic comedy plot. I tried to think of that example, but I couldn't think of a movie that happened. But I feel like that's definitely happened in a movie. All these other examples are real life movies that I've seen.
Either that or they were hit by that person in their car.
That is hilarious. We should get a recorder and make this a movie. That's amazing.
Oh, man.
But yeah, aside from people just unconditionally trusting one another, the craziest example is maybe The Holiday, where they're in the wrong vacation home and they're just like, yeah, they get in touch with each other, thinking they're like, yeah, that's cool. You just hang out there and I'll hang out here. In the real world, everyone's identity is stolen.
Identity is
stolen. Burn the house down, steal all the silverware. Ain't nobody
it's
safe.
True, though.
So light spoilers for the horror movie Barbarian, but that actually shows why that goes awry when you do things like that, where basically they both got the same Airbnb, and like in most people in real life would be like, I'm not staying with you. You're a creepy man that I've never met before, and I am a woman. This is this is kidnapping, murder 1-on-1. That's how you get human traffic. But in this movie, like, I'll just sleep on the couch and, you take the bed, and they do all that kind of shit. And it goes awfully. I'm not going to tell you the details. It goes awfully, not in the way that you think.
So I'm being fact checked right now by my wife, who's in the other room and can hear me. That's not the exact plot of The Holiday. They actually know they find each other online and they swap vacation homes. But still,
what the fuck?
That's creepy.
That's even weirder.
That's arguably worse. But yeah, I digress. I'll move on to Exhibit B. Maybe the most underlyingly gross, disgusting, disturbing, haunting image, the face of romantic comedies itself. Hugh Grant. This man is a supervillain if I ever saw one.
Fucking Hugh Grant.
He's in every romantic comedy, and every time he is the worst person ever. You don't want to be friends with this person, let alone fall in love with him. He may have a charming smile and jokes, but not even deep down. You can see it clearly. This guy is cringe with a capital C.
I don't mean any harm because I don't know what he's been through in his life or anything like that. But you ever seen someone and they just kind of look like an alcoholic?
God damn.
They just kind of give like the vibe of alcoholism. Hugh Grant gives me like his shirt's always like unbuttoned like a little bit too much, but it's like in like not like a hot way. It's like in a like a.
I'm telling you,
he's in the I don't give a shit phase now. He's doing everything. He's doing Dungeons and Dragons. He's about to be he's a fucking Oompa Loompa in Wonka coming up soon,
shit.
bro. He
That's
don't give
wild.
a shit.
Him and Kevin Bacon.
I'm not hating on Hugh Grant as a person. He might be a nice guy. I don't know him. I've never met him. But every film that I've seen him in that's a romantic comedy, he is a fucking mess.
Love
He
Actually.
is horrifying. If anybody met this person in real life, he would be canceled. I hope he would be canceled. This dude is looking up people's skirts. He is he's harassing every person he comes in contact with.
Yo, man, the early 2000s were wild.
Yeah, they are. And Hugh Grant is to blame for 90% of it.
This poor man is like, I'm just doing my job. What is happening?
Maybe not him.
Hugh Grant's characters.
Yeah.
We know nothing about Hugh Grant.
We're not out here making tea or anything.
They're typecast in cringe, and then they always get him.
Oh my god, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I love that he's the face of it. No, it's funny that you say that when you talk about some of those things, because I just keep remembering. I watched one of those like holiday Lifetime movie kind of
good
romantic
stuff.
comedies, and I'm pretty sure it had Lindsay Lohan in it, which is like wild comeback. Fucking
yes.
Lindsay Lohan put that. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. Couldn't tell you what it's called because it doesn't matter. None of these movies matter. They're all the same thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And one of the parts that scares me about it that I don't think we like really touched on is how it always ends up in a lot of like small towns specifically, where like everyone knows each other.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. Small town,
super fucking creepy.
Yeah.
And it seems like everyone's like kind of like silently rooting for you in the background the whole time. I was like, why are you so
you
entrenched?
don't fucking know me.
Yeah, entrenched in my life. All these people I've never met before, but they're all at my wedding with this man that I met a week ago. What is happening here? It seems like someone's drinking some Kool-Aid that I'm not supposed to be fucking with.
It's like the town that it takes place in.
Yeah, and then it always ends with like everybody like being there at the end, and you get your first kiss, and they all like, yay! Yeah. I don't know you people. Leave me alone.
Right.
Also, I've met this man a week ago. He's probably a murderer, but I love him.
Also, somehow I'm a princess now.
That movie is a great example for something like something horrifying. Like I'm pretty sure in that movie she gets in like a ski accident. She loses her memory.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And one of the persons that is there to help her takes her in and shelters her and takes care of her in his home. She just decides to live with this guy for the next couple of weeks while she tries to regain her memory because she's lost her memory.
Fucking hell.
She doesn't know her first name. And this dude's like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of you.
Just live here.
He does give her a name.
Room.
and all the while, this dude is grieving because he lost his wife. And Lindsay Lohan is engaged to be married to somebody else. This is a horror movie. This is a horror movie waiting to happen.
It seems a little manipulative what he was doing there. I don't really like the vibes of that.
I mean that's essentially the plot of what is it? Overboard, the Kurt Russell Goldie Hawn movie.
Kurt Russell.
I think she loses. This is an old movie. She loses her memory, and then it's just like he convinces her that they're together or some shit. I can't remember, but it's not very good. It's not great.
It sounds familiar. I think someone recommended that to me before. I can't remember if I saw it. I'll rattle off a few other examples of romantic comedies that seem sweet and innocent enough, but really horrifying. 13 going on 30. Imagine you're 13 years old. Life is blissful. You're on top of the world. You're eating candy and sugar, and the next thing you wake up.
I don't know what remember what it's like to be 13. I don't know that there was
13. It wasn't bad.
You're thinking about what it's like to be 8.
Oh, maybe you're right, but 13. You're not so bad. You're hanging out with your friends. You got your play shoes. You're still climbing trees. Next thing you know, you gotta pay taxes. You got a job. In this movie, she's lucky she didn't have a child she had to take care of. Can you imagine a 13-year-old taking care of a child? That's scary. I'm pretty sure there's a scene in 13 going on 30 where Jennifer Gardner, as an adult, is engaged to some dude. And he's trying to put the moves on her and do like a little a dancey dance. And thank God in that film, she curbs him and was like, nah, that's like, I'm 13. That's weird. I don't know what to do here. Because that shit could have been really weird.
Yeah. Real bad. I have one that's similar to that I'll talk about. Man, it's weird how movies are made and just, that's fine.
Yeah. And no one thought to question it.
I'll give you another one. Never Been Kissed. Have you guys seen this movie?
No, that's the one I was gonna do.
This movie.
Wait.
This
No. Wait.
Oh.
This movie should have been called To Catch a Predator. What are we doing in this movie? What are we doing? This movie is about a group of adults convincing an adult to try to fuck a man, to try to make a man a predator. I don't know what this movie's about.
It's about some adults Woody Allen made
sending an adult into a high school to try to just hang out. And then it gets to a point where her brother, another adult, is like, yo, you know what? That sounds fun. I'm going to go back to high school too. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a date to prom with this high school person. I'm 38. What are we doing in this movie, guys? What are we doing in this movie? That's a horror movie.
One of the worst things about that movie, and I love this movie actually. And
I do too. I really like it.
But one of the worst things about this movie is the teacher who seemingly has the best moral compass. He's like the person you're looking to for guidance. As an audience member and as a student, like you're looking up to your teachers, he's the person that everybody's looking up to in the film. Yep. And he's got a crush on his student.
He's a predator.
He doesn't know that his student is the same age as him. In real life.
Well, that's not the point.
But that's not the point. The point is he's creepy.
It's bad. This movie is a twist.
Lo and behold, they fall in love, and she tells him that she's also 38 or however the fuck, and it's okay if they kiss or whatever. And that's just weird. That's just weird, guys.
So weird. It's weird. He fell in love with you when he thought you were 17. What are we doing?
She fell in love with a pedophile. So she's okay with that.
She's okay with it. So that's so funny.
She said, "It's okay. I'm not 12."
And he's like, "Thank God," because I wasn't gonna say no either way.
Back then, are fucking wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah, there's no morally good part about that.
What are we
there's
doing?
No, that's so heartwarming. Like, no.
All right, I got two more real quick.
Woo, boy.
Here's another one I love. This is one of my favorite romantic comedies, but terrifying in real life. 50 First Dates. Can you fucking imagine this shit? Yep. It's not so bad. It's really cute, but
at least they're all adults in the movie.
At least they're all adults. That's what. But at the end of the film, the things that they don't show, at the end of the film, when they're married and they live happily ever after and they have 2 kids, and then it fades out, but then you're just left thinking like, how the hell did she give birth? How does she wake up one day and she's 8 months pregnant?
That seems not okay.
You know, sometimes birth can take days, like plural. She might fall asleep and wake up mid-labor.
That's traumatizing.
That is a very scary movie.
Wasn't there Hayden Christensen film? Was it Hayden Christensen? It was someone where he like went under, but he could still feel everything during the whole
awake.
Yeah. That movie's crazy. He was having like a medical procedure, but the whole time he was awake, but he couldn't. He was in like a sleep paralysis state. So he was just like, no anesthesia wasn't working for him at all. So he's just fully feeling like his pancreas being taken out, and he's like, I can't do anything.
Is that a romantic comedy?
No, not at all. It's gonna be the same vibes of like the trauma of like waking up randomly.
These are actually scary.
Yeah, no, that's just a scary ass movie. No, it just reminds me of the trauma of just being like, oh yeah, you know, I'm just chilling in what the fuck? I'm having a baby. Like, yeah, that'd be pretty terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have another separate Adam Sandler movie that I'll talk about. That's also Adam Sandler likes to make a lot of movies with some weird shit in. Apparently.
All right, well, I got one more before I go. One more. This one, This one takes the cake. This is probably the worst damn romantic comedy. I don't even like this movie. This is the worst romantic comedy that I've seen. Period. This is just a bad movie. Like, no offense to the creators. Like, you guys probably tried your best, but this is a fever dream of a movie. And if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it now. Like, I would recommend this to everybody. It is the worst movie I've ever seen, but damn it, top recommendation. This movie is called Simply Irresistible. Have you guys seen this?
I've seen it in passing, but I don't remember at all. Oh my
God. It's with Sarah Michelle Gellar. And I'm going to try and give you...
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Is that her name? Gellar. Whatever, you know her from all the things.
M comes before B. It's fine.
Yeah, she's got some letters in
What's
there.
What's the name of the movie?
It's Simply Irresistible. You know what? I'm just gonna read the IMDb definition. It's just a sentence. It's just a magical crab works wonders on a terrible chef's culinary skills, leading her towards the man of her dreams.
What the fuck?
Yep.
What?
That doesn't even explain the half of it. These people are on an acid trip from start to finish. When you watch this movie, just hear my words. They don't even explain this magical crab, but he is at the crux of the whole film. He gives Sarah Michelle Gallagher, however you fancy. This magic crab gives Sarah these magic powers to cook really good.
You're on a first name basis with Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Oh yeah. We go way back since one of those movies I saw in the 90s.
Scooby Doo.
One of those ones. There's so many. The crab gives her some magic abilities to cook really, really good, even though she owns a restaurant and is the chef of this restaurant, but it's failing. So I guess it's because she can't cook for shit.
Well, it's like, you can own a restaurant. You don't have to make good food.
Yeah. So she makes really, really, really good food, and this douchebag business person decides that the food is so good that he falls in love with her.
Food Wars.
It's like a love potion movie, and she just wants to impress this guy because he has nice clothes and nice money, and every time they cook and he eats the food, like weird shit happens, like they're flying and dancing on the ceiling, and they're
Food Wars.
and they're just like,
is this movie animated?
The walls dissolve and they're in a room full of mirrors and nobody else is around. It's supposed to be romantic, but it's really scary. It's really scary.
That sounds really scary, especially for 99. I know the effects were really scary.
That crab is a demon.
You gotta watch this movie though. Gotta watch it. It's pretty scary.
The more you describe it, the more it sounds familiar, like very vaguely. I've probably seen it on like USA or something.
I've never heard or seen this movie. We were just randomly scrolling through things. We're like, well, let's watch this. Like this could be a good vibe. It's a romantic comedy. It's late 90s. Like, sounds like a win. We had no idea what we were getting into.
That's fucking hilarious. That's so funny. Brian, I'm gonna steal this for now because that leads in perfectly to one of my subcategories that I happened to come up with just when I was making a list of random things. And this is what I'm calling demon-based comedies.
Demon-based comedies. Oh shit.
Comedy/romantic comedies. And Alex, honestly, that last one you just said fits perfectly into this category.
Yep.
So this is a category I created where it's just movies that are supposed to be comedies or romantic comedies, but it's like, if you think about it, it's like no one cares to actually think about and how any of this happening. And I just think it's the devil, probably. So, for example, any romantic comedy that is based on luck. And I have two examples. Those are Just My Luck, which is a Lindsay Lohan movie where it's all like luck based. And she has like really bad luck because she's met this guy. And another movie that's basically the same premise called Good Luck Chuck, which is a fucking, what is it? What's his name? What's that comedian's name?
Dane Cook?
Dane Cook, yeah. A Dane Cook movie, so you know it was a gem.
Sure, a gem. That's what we call this.
Where he's a dude who's like the coolest guy, got the best luck, and then he meets Jessica Alba's character, and then his life just goes to hell, and he thinks it's because she's like a bad luck charm. No, that's the devil's work. That is all that is. No one's like, no, if that were to happen to any person in real life, no one would be like, this person is a bad luck charm to me. I'm cursed now. What is going? I would be like, no, I need answers to this. What are we doing?
You need Jesus.
Something is wrong with the world. That's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Oh,
those are cursed pants. How the fuck do they fit all of them girls? I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense. They're taller than each other. They're all different body shapes and sizes. Those are the devil's pants.
That's funny.
That's a Sisterhood of the Devil's Traveling
Pants. No
pants.
one seems to be interested to know the origin of these pants. And it worries me. It worries me so. Alex brought up Adam Sandler earlier. Click, if you guys know, is the one where he gets the devil's remote and he can control his
the devil's streaming service. The devil's Roku stick.
Click is a disgustingly sad movie.
Oh my god, that movie is so sad by the end. Oh my god. Yeah, where he just gets fucking a remote from the devil, aka what's his name in that movie that gives him the remote? He's
who fucking knows, man? That movie came out like 08.
It's at Bed Bath and Beyond. It's in the Beyond section.
Yes. What's his name? He's the dude that everyone can impersonate really well. Oh, I don't remember his name. Christopher Walken. Yeah, there you go.
There he is.
The devil.
It's the Foo Fighters.
Christopher Walken's the devil.
Yes, 1,000%. He's giving him a curse.
That kind of tracks for that film for sure.
And it's insanity. It's like I just need more answers, and everyone is just a miserable time. Freaky Friday. No one. That's just
damn
magic.
Devil fortune cookie.
The devil's fortune cookie. Exactly.
Chinese food is the devil. Okay, gotcha.
I love Chinese food.
The Tooth Fairy. If The Rock was the Tooth Fairy, the life is over. That is horrific. Could you imagine?
I'm never losing a tooth again. I'm taping them shits in. They ain't never coming out. Leave me alone.
He'd be yanking them too.
That's scarier than the actual scary Tooth Fairy movie they made.
Yeah.
You guys remember that movie?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
That movie was actually scary to me as a child.
I would not want to wake up to The Rock digging under my pillow.
No, not at all. Same thing with like Jumanji. That's the devil's board game, bro. Like
that is a horror film.
That's actually pretty scary.
That one might actually be scary.
That might be one of the scariest movies I saw when I was a child. and I watched it when I was way too young.
Bruce Almighty, is Morgan Freeman really God or is he the devil? I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Who knows? Good twist.
Oh, it's the bad place. It's not the good place.
Yeah. And then, do you guys remember the movie? I never saw this, but I know the premise. The Lake House with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
Oh, shit.
Basically, the premise is they write letters to each other through a magical time-traveling mailbox. So they can write letters to each other from the past into the future, and they just don't question it. I don't remember. I don't know if that happened in that movie. But if that is a real-life scenario, I wouldn't just be okay with that. I'd be like, who the fuck am I talking to? This is terrifying.
It's time to move.
It's time to move. It's time to go. I'm sick of these devil-based movies.
Keanu Reeves looks crazy in this movie. I hate his look, his vibe in this movie. He looked creepy.
Yeah, I don't remember if he's in the past or the future.
He's living in a possessed mailbox house. Probably, it sounds like it. So it's
hard to tell who's in the past or the future. They're wearing the same shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
What is the past? 2 years ago? Like, what the fuck? They both have the same coat on. What's going on?
Maybe it's the same damn day.
They're just a week apart.
One of them just sleeps and the other one is nocturnal.
You know what? That would be a good twist to the end of that movie.
It's not even a time travel movie. He just lives in Europe.
To the bed, the apartment or the house or whatever.
Oh, he's in the future. No, he lives in Australia. Fucking weirdos.
Yeah, so I think all of those movies, if you actually think about it, and the sheer will of people to just not question anything, just be like, whatever. Fuck that. I need to know why I'm somehow in my cousin's body now or some shit. What? I need to know. I'm sorry.
I've been on this earth long enough that I probably wouldn't question shit anymore. I'm just like, yeah,
it's another Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
Yeah, so those were my subcategory demon-based romantic comedy/comedies.
That's so funny. I've never actually really thought like deep into like, yeah, there's like something going on here. There's some kind of
there's some supernatural force in these movies, man, that no one seems to care about.
Comedies, sometimes romantic comedies especially, sometimes they're just supernatural.
Yep, absolutely. 1,000%.
I hate it.
And now here's just the other random ones. This is kind of leaning on Alex's whole romantic comedies or horror movies. 50 Shades of Grey. I remember specifically watching a scene in this movie in like a hardware store.
In a hardware store? What kind of hardware store are you going to?
No. Sorry. The scene took place in a hardware store.
Oh. I was like, damn. Are you sure what kind of tools you getting, dude?
No. The scene took place in our hardware store. I didn't watch this movie at like a Lowe's or some shit. And it's like
Lowe's, right.
The whole premise of at least of that first movie, because I've only seen bits and pieces and I don't really know what happens in that story, but I think it does turn into some weird stalker shit. But that first movie, this dude is just a straight up weird creep stalker, like Alex said. But they just put this happy-go-lucky music and how he's so handsome and rich, but no. He's a psychopath. He's stalking you.
Some deep fetishes, which is not. I don't really know anything about the movie. Is he a stalker?
Nothing wrong with that.
He's just into some kinky stuff.
I think he's just into kinky stuff, but he probably has some trauma. I would imagine.
I mean,
don't know
hey, whatever tickles your fancy.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. I'm a kink shamer. It's time to start shaming kinks. Go to therapy. Anyway.
Oh no, it's the year of the. Yeah. So terrifying. Just like he's a serial killer, probably in a different movie.
He does look like a serial killer.
Yeah. These are other ones that are just like the universe, not so much like sometimes the plot, but mostly just the universe that these worlds take place in are utterly terrifying. And number one is Harry Potter. They have slaves. These people have slaves working in the kitchen. These damn elves or goblins or whatever. They're slaves that cook all their food. And then Dumbledore's just like, fuck them. Give me the food, whatever. Who gives a shit? We don't pay them when they sleep under the fucking stairs or whatever. I don't know.
Damn,
this universe is terrifying. All these
it's not
people.
It's not just Dobby. Dumbledore's a slave master too. I didn't even think about that.
They're all he's George Washington basically. He is the slave master.
This is a universe with the George Washington wizard slave master, and they also have a fucking Nazi wizard who wants to destroy the world. This universe is terrifying, and they put a nice little filter. Oh, it's magical and so great. No, this school is a problem and needs to be shut down.
I mean, that's what's kind of so funny about like the game that came out, Hogwarts Legacy, because they do try to like. There's so much. It's such a funny game because there's so much like diversity in like the human characters and stuff like that. But the whole part of the game is about the fact that you're fighting off a goblin rebellion. You're basically the fucking the empire of the story, and you're like, I gotta put them down.
Just want their rights.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like one of those games where it's like it starts making too good of a point about why you shouldn't fuck with the goblins. So they have to make a huge villain that makes you go like, oh, well, that guy's just evil, so we gotta kill him now. Instead of being like, oh, well, fuck, maybe they do deserve some rights. No, fuck them. That guy's bad.
One guy's bad, so kill all of them.
Yeah, kill all of them. I mean, they've all been mind controlled by him, you know.
So still, Jesus, fuck that. No,
that sounds kind of topical.
Universe. I wouldn't want to be a human in that world because a lot of scary shit's happen, and I can't defend myself. Exactly. What do I do against fucking magic? I'm just the guy.
Exactly. And this perfectly brings me to my next one, which this is the only game one I put in here, but I thought about it. This is a world where I would never want to be just an average Joe of a human.
Most video game worlds, I can't fucking fight.
Yes, true. Most video game worlds, but this one in particular, Dynasty Warriors.
Oh.
Could you imagine being a normal person in this universe? You just watched 10,000 of your friends who all look like you die in front of your very eyes.
Not even normal person. Normal person had to go to war, and then Lu Bu comes fucking down out of the sky and hits a 10,000 person combo.
10,000 person combo.
You want me to go next? You want me to go next? No. I'm cool. I'm gonna go back to the loading screen.
I can't believe all those people in all those armies are still running up on the main character.
It's insanity. And there's like, at this point, there's like 94 characters who can all kill 1 million people in 3 seconds. This world is so fucked.
They're committing genocide because of Lu Bu. A whole country doesn't exist anymore. Like,
yes, it's terrifying and horrific. It's the same thing with I wrote on the MCU. Being a normal person in that universe absolutely fucking sucks.
Yeah,
don't be there.
Nope.
Especially don't live in New York in that universe. Your week sucks.
This version of New York has to be much better because I bet rent is dirt fucking cheap, baby. They ain't no way they're gonna charge you $3,000 to live there when you got fucking the Hulk running down the street of Manhattan. Like, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
Hell no.
Yeah, right. Maybe it's super affordable. Yeah.
Yeah. That crime rate. Yeah. You got motherfuckers that got super heat ray beams, and they're just normal robbers. This is a normal dude robbing a grocery store. He's got a super heat ray beam. What the fuck am I gonna do? And we have the nerve to have cops. What are the cops going to do?
Right. Honestly, yeah, it's true. It's horrible, terrifying world.
NYPD still probably is overfunded. Crazy.
Probably.
This is one I wrote down specially, but it also kind of sits into my demon category. Mary Poppins.
Ooh, that's disturbing stuff right there.
She's a demon, right? She's like a witch demon creature.
She just glides on that umbrella, gives me chills.
She's terrifying.
Oh my God.
But not like so like just living in a world where you can she'll just chuck you into a chalk drawing on the ground and make you live with these animated creatures forever, potentially. It's up to her if you want to leave, right?
Giving you poison and or medicine. I wouldn't trust it.
Exactly. For all we know, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is a spell. Bro, she's a witch. And then the other side of that is that this world is terrible. This dad lives in a world where it's like he's like trying to invest in the bank or some shit, and these bank people are all terrible and evil. That's a real world terrifying element. This world is just,
that's real.
Fuck it. Nah, fuck it. This world sucks.
I agree.
I don't like it.
100%. Through and through. Yeah, I don't like the things that like want to pretend to be whimsical, but it's not whimsical. It's actually fucking terrifying.
It's real scary. If I saw a babysitter fly from the sky and say, "Hey, what's up? I'm gonna raise your kids," I'd be like, "Get the fuck out."
I'm calling the cops. You wait here. I'm calling the cops.
They said, "Welcome."
Cool. What's up? No.
Get on the ground.
Hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. I'm gonna hope you're a vampire because I am not inviting you in. And then special shout out for this is an actual fear that I had as a child. For the longest time, I was always afraid of the MGM lion at the beginning of movies when it would roar.
Oh, you got trauma.
That one is just you. That one is just
That one was just me. That one fits perfectly in this category of unintentionally scary things, because I don't think anyone in the world ever thought that was scary.
I thought the line was really cool, actually. I was like, oh, why is there?
The best part of the movie
was terrified as a small child.
Fuck. He's back.
Why does he keep coming back at the beginning of these movies?
Can't keep getting away with this.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Yeah. So that's me. That's at least some of the ones that I wrote down.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I guess I could round it out with my little bit I got going. We talk
What
about
you got?
You're talking about scary stuff that's like not scary in like the fake magical made up world where we got demons and whimsical ladies that are actually witches and all this kind of stuff.
And Hugh Grant. Let's not forget about Hugh
And
Grant.
Hugh Grant, who, for all we know, could also be a demon.
He could
we
be
don't know
demon
anything about Hugh Grant.
he's just every modern day patriarchal white man.
Yeah.
Which is scary. Anyway,
which is a real life fear. Yeah,
real life fear of mine. I don't know about you, but yeah. Speaking of real life fears, I want to talk about things that are scary in real life because it has to talk about the psyche, the mental.
Oh boy,
people are scary. Humans are scary.
That's pretty scary.
And I want to talk about reality TV.
Oh no!
Specifically, reality TV that has to do with finding love. Because finding love reality TV is a very interesting thing because it's usually people that have quote unquote been down on their luck, but also have an IMDb page, which makes a weird mix of of what the fuck is going on here.
I mean, I can relate to that. Not the love part, but
have an IMDb page.
And yeah, IMDb page, down on my luck. Just being an artist.
That's just being a creative.
just being out here. No, go on.
I want to talk about specifically some of the ones that come on Netflix because I remember, I'm sure everyone's familiar at this point with Love is Blind, which was a TV show that came on during the pandemic. And it's been still going on right now. That has Nick and Vanessa Lachey are the hosts of the show. And people that don't know their relationship, basically Vanessa's a homewrecker and stole that man.
Oh shit!
It takes two people. It takes two people to tango. But she does go into how she found this man. It kind of seemed like she was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that man no matter what it takes. Anywho, Nick Lachey is also probably not a good.
I was about to say, is the scary thing Vanessa Lachey or the show you're about to talk
She gets pretty scary, to be honest. She will tell you your shit. She does not pucker with that. And I do appreciate that from a host. But the funny thing about that show is like watching that show is like, oh, it's really interesting. You know, people are getting married without seeing each other, and that's really crazy. But what I want to talk about specifically, it is a horror show, but I want to talk about the follow-up to that show, which I had no idea was going to be scary because this one was very different. And that show is called The Ultimatum.
Oh, fuck.
I have not seen that one.
Oh, it's an interesting one, especially the first season.
I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes, and it is a problem.
Okay, what's the premise?
The premise is basically you have 2 people that have been in a relationship for some nondescript amount of time. It's actually very descriptive, which makes it even scarier. Because most of these people are about 5, 6, 7 years younger than us, and they're talking about getting married. One partner does not want to get married yet. The other partner very much does. And the dates between the people who've been dating have been as little as 6 months to as much as like 3 years. None of it's like a crazy amount of time. Like when you think about ultimatum, you're thinking like, man, I've been waiting for this ring for like 6 fucking years, bro. What's going on? It's been 8 years, right, man. Where the fuck the ring? No, it's like, it's been 1.5 years. And I just don't think he wants to commit to me. So I'm giving him an ultimatum. Already problematic. Already like seek therapy. That's just the beginning. So I thought the show was going to be boring because I was like, I mean, I've seen that before. Like, yeah, it's just a toxic relationship and y'all probably just need to break up. They did a really interesting thing with the show that I wasn't expecting in that they hired only sociopaths.
Oh, for real?
Every single person on that show has a disorder. A disorder that should be studied. These people hate their spouses or hate their significant others. Every single one of them hate their significant others. Every single one of them is willing to cheat immediately. One man was so afraid. This all happens in the first episode. So they're like, you know, they get to a point where they all kind of like intermingle. So they get to a point where they're all kind of intermingle because you have the people that like want to get married, the people that don't want to get married. And basically you're going to have to start dating someone else to see if you want to go back to your partner or if it's not right for you. It's kind of the whole semblance of it. So it starts out with like a little mixer. You're all drinking. You're at the pool. You're having a little bit of fun. You see your girlfriend getting rizzed up a little bit by my man Tony. And Tony, he's kind of pretty. You know, the abs kind of coming and like he's got the hair and the... Looks like a fuckboy. Looks like he would treat women poorly. So you see him like rizzing up your girl a little bit. You're like, why is she laughing so much? What's going on here? At the end of this episode, one man was so afraid of this girl liking this other guy that he proposed on the spot. He found a ring at some point during filming and was like, fuck, I'm ready. I'm fucking ready. Get us out of here. I'm afraid. And that is terrifying. It's terrifying that these people, because one thing that we do a lot in society, especially in American society, is talking about the sanctity of marriage and how important it is. Yet there's people that have been married 4, 5, 6 times, which is crazy. But where they were like, gay people can't get married. That's wrong. Right. This show shows exactly what's wrong with those kinds of statements, because these people are allowed to get married. They're also allowed to vote. They're also allowed to drive. They're allowed to do a lot of things they probably shouldn't do. And that's terrifying to me. That really scares me a whole lot.
I mean, you're not wrong. The few episodes I saw, there was one. This wasn't the season I think you saw. I saw 2 episodes or 3 episodes of the season where there was a girl on here during that first episode mingling phase, like you mentioned. You could clearly tell that this was a person that got onto the show just to cheat and fuck whoever they wanted. They had no intention of marrying their partner whatsoever. And to the point where this is the best part of the episode, or one of the episodes I saw, everyone realized that and called her out on her shit. They're like, are you even here to try to work shit out with your partner and get married? Because it seems like you're just trying to fuck everyone here.
She said, I got a goal and one goal only, baby.
And I was just like, damn. That's why people have to watch this show.
That's really funny. Wild. There was one girl on there that was really funny to me because it might have been the same girl, but I just remember she was not connecting with anybody. Like everyone she tried to talk to, like didn't really like her because she was kind of annoying and kind of mean. So every vibe that she went to, a lot of people were like, yeah, I don't think I want to hang out with you anymore. So she was rancid after that. She was pissed, seething. So because of that, she just started going around and just started making up gossip and lies about every single man that she saw, like hanging out with someone that she wanted to hang out, and just being a whole shithead. And even like to her boyfriend, like every time like her boyfriend was talking to somebody, he was like, yeah, so actually, he kind of actually sucks a lot. Girl,
what?
Let this man be great. Like, what the fuck?
Damn.
Wow. This sounds like anybody who actually wants their relationship to get better probably shouldn't go on this show.
It's a microdosing swinging, if anything. Like that's what the show oftentimes feels like. Either that or you just want to be polyamorous, which is fine, but like just don't lie to yourself and keep pretending that this is because I want to get married someday. Like, do you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think this is more of the sad reality outside of that show is I think these shows target people like that.
Oh yeah, 100%,
purposefully.
100%.
And it's like that's the real actual fear of life is that people are being manipulated to get on this shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there are 2 great evils in reality TV. It showcases and highlights the worst qualities in the people on camera.
Yeah.
And those qualities are real life issues that some people more than others, but everybody has to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, the people behind the camera are like, digging all that stuff out. And I guess third, we're loving it.
And I do.
Yeah, and I think all those things are, like you're saying, Brian, really scary. Like impossible to look away and not enjoy. And the thought of that is kind of terrifying.
It's such a microcosm of like human interaction and like you said, like the most manipulative and like exploitive way possible, but we live for that shit, and that's why these kind of shows still exist. They put out a new season every 6 months, it feels like. So someone's watching it. God. And someone's me.
They need a on stage psychologist and therapist for
they do, and that's why some of these shows are starting to sue.
Honestly, that's a matter of time. I'm not surprised
because with the writer strike and actor strike and stuff like that, they're like, I was actually really abused on this show, and I'm just now realizing it. And maybe I should speak up about that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
That being said, I'm still watching Love is Blind. A recent one came out this month, and I've been watching it.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
You got anything else for us, Brian?
I mean, we're getting close to the end, but I can also talk about things of like 90 Day Fiancé is another huge one where it's like
that one actually came to mind when you talked about reality.
Yes, that's another one that hits weird in another manipulative way, kind of similar to like Catfish, where it's like usually it's really sad. Like sometimes it's funny where it's like, look at Big Ed, he's got no neck, like that's funny. But then you also see people where it's like they can't find love. They never find love. They get a mail order bride. And this person is 100% using them and taking all their money and ruining their lives. And they're so sad. Like,
that's a bummer.
What the fuck did this man say? So there's this woman. She's a little older. She's got glasses. She's a little frumpy. She's a little homely looking, but she has such a sweetheart. Very sweet woman. Very sweet. She finds this man that he's got the abs and he's, tall, dark, and handsome and stuff like that. And this man reaches out to her being like, hey, baby, it was like there was like an online dating app that they met on or something like that. You know, hey, baby, I want to come and marry you, stuff like that. We all kind of know, like, yeah, sometimes you can hit the ball hit a home run, but you usually know what court you're playing. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people understand it.
Did you just combine a baseball and a basketball analogy?
So I had to hit both fronts just in case you're not in MLB. Let me hit some NBA. We'll hit a little of football too. You're not in the stadium. You're in the stands. You ain't playing. No, stop it. But I feel like you understand like that. There's a certain level where it's like, well, there's no way anyone like that's gonna like be interested in me like that. Well, these people aren't quite. They're a little naive when it comes to that. So she was like, hell yeah, this hot piece of man loves me. I'm going to spend all my money up to get him here. And that man was the worst person ever. He hated her children. He hated her. He said her poo-tang don't smell good. He demolished this woman in public on national television. And it was crazy. And then she still had the audacity to be like, I love him though. It's like, no, this is so scary that like these kind of things can just happen to people that like, I don't know. Love is hard. I get it.
Psychological fears.
Yeah, like love is hard. I get it. And some people are, for lack of a better word, just crazy, and manipulative and bad. And that makes me sad to watch that on TV.
This is some Black Swan type of psychological horror.
Yeah, like some of the shit is like she's probably damaged for that. Like she cried on stage like 2 seasons later because she was like, yeah, when he said that really hurt me. When he told me that my no box don't smell good, like that really hurt me. He said that in front, like the whole cast was there. He said that in front of everybody, and I was just like, huh? You if you were even gonna say something that monstrous, just say it to your friends. Don't say it on public television. Jesus Christ.
Just tell your friends.
Right. If you're gonna be mean, at least be mean quiet. Don't be mean with your whole chest. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit!
No, that terrifies me.
No.
As someone that's unmarried, that terrifies me. That there are people out there that still be acting like that.
Yeah, sadly, those were some really great, unintentionally scary but terrifying scares.
I'm gonna have nightmares.
We hit a good spectrum. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was a good wide range of things.
Hugh Grant is my sleep paralysis demon.
Hugh, if you're out there, you know we could hang out. You know, we can have a conversation.
We're gonna make Hugh Grant
it's not
podcast
you.
art.
It's just every single movie you're in.
Yeah, I'd love to have a beer with you, but I'm not sure if you're allowed, so we're not gonna.
You know how people like say like there's the patron saint. Hugh Grant is our patron demon.
Hey.
I'm sure this man is super cool.
I know.
If I ever do meet him, I would like to speak to him, and I hope I'm sure you're cool.
And I hope he doesn't hear this.
Yeah, if you do, I hope you thought it was funny and are not mad at me because I can't afford a lawyer.
Alrighty, guys, that was a lot of fun. Spooks are on. Here we are. Shall we now then move into our final segment of the week?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Which we like to call Free for All, title pending. This is a segment, listeners, where we can kind of do whatever we want. Talk about our day, talk about our life, nap, fight, rant. It is free for all. I can very somewhat quickly go first because, guys, not only have I beaten Spider-Man 2.
What?
Oh.
That just came up.
I have platinum Spider-Man 2.
How about I got Spider-Man 2? Yeah. I don't know. That's exciting.
I platinum Spider-Man 2 earlier today.
Wow.
It is in the books. It is done. And
amazing.
It was a great game. It was a great, great game. I'm not going to lie. I guess I won't spoil it for you guys. I know, Alex, you've played the first one.
I might play it one day. It's only on PlayStation 5?
Correct.
You thought you were going to play it on Nintendo Switch? Be for real.
I got a PlayStation 4, motherfucker.
I think I'll blow that shit up. Don't play it on PlayStation 4.
I'm going to download it on my Mac tomorrow.
Yeah, so do you not want me to spoil it then?
No, I'm going to play it one day. Maybe in 10 years, but...
Yeah, same.
All right, so I won't spoil it for you guys, but I'll just say some quick highlights. I thought the game was great. I think the balance of Peter and Miles and their stories going through this was done really well. It was really a lot of fun to see and do. Again, the game's not super long, and I kind of knew that going into. I've been hearing that people were like finishing it and platinuming it at like 25, 30 hours, whatever.
Wow.
And people were like, that's not a lot. I'm fine with that. I don't mind. We've talked about this. I don't mind spending $70 on a game that I beat that quickly and I don't have to worry about it ever again. I'm happy with that. But yeah, it's a great game. I will just highlight without no spoilers. The opening start to this game is fucking awesome.
I have heard that.
It's incredible. It's so much. It's such a fun, great way to introduce back into the mechanics and the characters and just being Spider-Man. It was such a very cool intro to this game. And this isn't a spoiler because this is what we've seen gameplay. Just shout out to Insomniac and the people who created this game for finally, this is the next quote unquote next gen, current gen, whatever thing that I've been kind of waiting for in terms of the fast travel in this game which is for one thing, I barely use just because swinging and it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailers as well. You get web wings. So basically flying throughout this fucking city.
It looks so much fun.
Amazing. It's so fucking good. So I barely touched the fast travel, but the times that I did, it's legit. It's instant fucking taneous, and it's ridiculous how well they do
PlayStation
it.
5 suddenly decided to use the damn SSD they put in there.
Exactly.
Solid state drive, Jesus.
Speaking of that, there is one mission that I will not spoil that uses it in such a fun, cool way, and it's just like it's one of the highlights, and it happens fairly early-ish in the game, and I was just like, that was probably one of the best missions of this game, and it definitely was by the end of it.
Wow, cool.
Lots of cool ups and downs. Obviously, we know Kraven and Venom are like in this game. I'm not going to spoil anything else, or whoever shows up or doesn't, whatever. If we ever end up doing talking about it, there are some fun Easter eggs that I did not see coming that genuinely shocked me. I was like, holy shit, that was fucking awesome.
I heard there was a very New York Easter egg about a guy that used to tell the class schedules at NYU, and he was like notorious for doing that, and he passed away recently. Well, not recently, but over the past
I didn't know that.
7, 8 years or something. They added so it's like a very New York thing that if you're not a New York person, you probably wouldn't know that information. Right. But he's immortalized in the game.
Yeah.
I didn't know that information.
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't know that was based off of that.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah. And then just the ending, it's a great cool ending. It does lead into potentially more adventures that are very surprising and cool, and yeah, just a really fun, solid game. Probably better than the first one. Tied with maybe Miles Morales. I get the same thing, similar to Miles Morales. The thing I loved about that game is the length. It didn't overstay its welcome like a lot of open world modern day games like to do. Personally for me, and so Miles' story being shorter in that game, I loved. And same thing with this. Like, yeah, there's some emotional highs, emotional lows, some crazy shit happens. Phenomenal game. I'm very happy I picked it up. I'm very glad I'm done with it so I can continue my life. Yeah, it's great. Spider-Man 2. Listeners, go get it. Go pick it up. It's great.
Mary Jane.
Shout out to God of War Ragnarok.
Mary Jane has more stealth missions though. So
you know what? Way better than the first game. And honestly, I didn't mind it. It was good.
I know that's always going to be a point of contention for a lot of people, apparently.
Yeah. And people are complaining about their faces. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they keep changing those faces.
I will say, new Peter Parker is weird. His face is weird. He seems like a demon and someone. Is he
a different Peter?
He's a different face. They created a new character model for his face in the remaster of 1 for PS4 that they came out with.
Oh, interesting.
And then they've kept it going through the Miles Morales game and this game.
Weird.
And so he looks different from the first OG Spider-Man game. You get used to it at times, but there are other times where I'm like, yeah, he just looks off. He just looks weird. Everyone else looks like a real person. He looks like they modeled a person. It's like, this is what Spider-Man
He looks like a man baby.
That's so bizarre.
It's weird.
How are you 15 and 38 at the same time?
Especially when he's supposed to be like a mentor to Miles. It's like, y'all look, sometimes Miles looks older than you.
That's bizarre. That's hilarious.
But great game, either way.
Nice. I can go real quick. And I've been missing a lot of my movie Thursdays just because life is life. But I did go and see a movie one Tuesday recently. There's actually a movie I've already seen. I saw it in theaters. I saw it in theaters when it came out too. It came out in like 2017, 2015. I don't know. It's an old ass movie, and that is Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, baby.
Oh, nice. I thought you were gonna say Evolution.
Oh, goddamn. They should bring that back to theaters, actually. I saw that in theaters. It was a mistake.
Yes, not 2015 either.
That movie was tight. Yeah, that movie was so bad that he had to apologize for it, the director. He was like, my bad, guys. But yes, I saw a much better Dragon Ball Z movie. It was Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. That is the one where they introduced Dragon Ball Z. Beerus, which is he's the god of destruction. He looks like a purple naked cat. What do you call those? Sphinx cats.
I was like, what do you call those? What? Wait.
You know, okay. All cats are naked. Well, they got fur, except for some don't. Yeah, a really, really good, fun movie that was kind of like the rebirth of Dragon Ball Z. After we hadn't seen it for a while, so it was kind of like a new story for Goku and all of them. Seeing all your favorite characters back at it again for Bulma's birthday. It was funny that you actually talked about the weird thing about like the 13 going on 30 and those movies about like children being adults and adults being children. Because there's a point in Dragon Ball Z where where Emperor Pilaf and his cronies are turned into children by the Dragon Balls, and so they have like
got confused how that happened.
Yeah, so it's because of the Dragon Balls they got turned into children because they want to be younger because they want to live for longer. But he made them too young, so they became little baby children. So they have a little side story all the time that kind of like pops up. They like the comedic relief. Hated. I can't stand the storyline, but it's fine. But Mai is really funny because Mai is one of the characters. She's a female character as a child, and it becomes a thing that makes it to a thing when they get older. Future Trunks and Mai are dating, but in this timeline, Future Trunks and Mai are not the same age because Mai may look like a child, but Mai is 41.
That is very interesting because they do end up dating, right? And like in Future Trunks timeline.
Yep. I mean, because of the way that
she's still like 40, 30 years older than him.
I think. Well, that's a whole thing. Yeah. She's at least 20 years older than him. Which is still like, kind of weird, but
mentally,
yeah. So there's that whole thing of they kind of like sow the seeds of that's going to come on in like the later seasons when you do meet Future Trunks, where he becomes boyfriend and girlfriend with her. And at first she's like, "Ew, that's gross." He's a little kid, and then he holds her hand, and then she falls in love.
He holds her hand,
and it wouldn't have been a problem because like not many people I think actually know what's happening there with like them being children and being adults. But then Bulma actually asked Mai at one point, "It's like, hey, so how old are you, little girl? Like you're dating my son. How old are you?" She goes, "I'll be 41 in March." Bulma's like, "What the fuck?
Why?
Wow.
Why?" Oh my god!
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, but outside of that, I do think it is one of the better Dragon Ball movies. It's not as good animation. It was back when the animation quality was still kind of rough. But Sean Schemmel specifically, the voice actor of Goku, he has probably one of his best performances in that. Because if that man can yell, I don't know if that's a quality that's like one of those things where it's like I'm the best yeller. He's close. He's up there because the way that man yells has so much like emphasis and intensity that you're like, yeah, let's fucking go, yeah. Ah.
That's the Japanese actor.
No, that's the English voice actor.
Oh, I thought it was voiced by a female for some reason.
So the Japanese actor she's like
the Japanese actor's female.
Yeah, she's like a 90-year-old. I can't remember her name for the life. Maybe begins with the M. But she's still kicking and she's still voice acting. But yeah, Sean Schemmel was the voice actor for the English version, the Funimation dub, specifically him and Chris Sabat, that he plays like Vegeta and Piccolo and all of them. So I did that. Saw it in the movie theaters. Got talked to by some weird nerds afterwards. Didn't like that so much, but you know.
Oh no, the nerds bothered you.
It comes with the territory. Yeah, one guy told us that we were like me and a few friends, and we were like talking in the lobby afterwards, and just chilling and whatnot. And then one guy just like kind of like scoots up to us. He obviously went by himself, and just kind of like bullies his way into the conversation. We're like, oh no, and it was fine. I mean, he was a nice guy, but then he asked me to follow his TikTok, and that made me mad because
no, straight out the gate.
Don't want to be friends with anybody on social media
because that's such fake. It feels like he's actually like a reviewer of movies. He said so. It's kind of like fake networking. You know what I mean? We're just like, I'm pretending I like you guys. I just want you to follow my shit. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
You should have been like, only if you follow my shit. And then...
It's like being like Jay-Z or something. Someone's like, hey, man, you want to listen to my mixtape? And it's like,
right.
Not really, man. I'm just kind of chilling. Thanks.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm Jay-Z,
Thanks,
but it was fun.
No, you're the Jay-Z of this podcast.
Hey, let's go.
Congrats.
You're going to pick me or $500,000. You're going to pick, that whole thing. You're going to pick getting dinner with me or $500,000. Please pick the $500,000. Don't have dinner with me. We're going to Pizza Hut, so.
All right, well, I'll go last. I had a fun adventure today. No video games, but me, my wife, and our baby Cleo, she's a year and a half old. We went apple picking. We got some apples. We picked some apples from the tree. She ate a bunch. She threw a bunch. We picked out some pumpkins to take home.
Disrespectful to them.
We had a great old time. And then on the way home, we had a little pit stop. We were in the country, all the way out in the middle of New Jersey. I guess I didn't know there was country out in New Jersey, but there is.
Don't you remember where our college roommate came from?
I learned things about New Jersey that I didn't know every time I'm in New Jersey. It's such a weird state.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, on the way back home, we made a pit stop in the suburbs. And we had a whole little suburb adventure. It was fun.
Oh,
no one's ever had fun in the suburbs. Why would you just lie like that?
It was cool.
The suburbs in Jersey.
We made the most of it, you know, went in Rome.
We went to our favorite chain restaurant, Applebee's.
We did. We didn't go to Applebee's, but we went to the strip mall. You know, we ran some errands at the strip mall. We passed by a Chipotle, and we were like, "Oh, that's funny, Chipotle." You know, so we got some food. We got food at the Chipotle. It was awesome.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I knew you'd be proud of me, Oscar. It was a good time. Then we Googled the nearest playground so Cleo could get a little bit of energy out before we hit the road. And it was the cleanest playground I have ever seen. It looked brand new. It might have been brand new, but damn, there wasn't a scuff to be seen on any of that equipment. So we had some nice Chipotle out in the suburbs. We had some fun in the playground, and yeah, we had a nice little suburban adventure. We were in the parking lot and like just getting our stuff together. We had like all the doors in the car wide open, rummaging through because we had just so much stuff in the car. And in the city, that could never happen. You're double parked or you're on the street, parallel parked, and you got to like open the door halfway, look out for the semi truck speeding by. It was cool. We were just like chilling. We had so much space to just park the car and get out, stretch our legs before going to the Chipotle at the strip mall, and it was a good time. Took me back to years past.
Very wholesome, Alex.
It was a wholesome day, and it's good to be back in Brooklyn where I can hear the honking horns and the ambulances, and I parked out front, and after I hang up, I probably got to move my car because of street sweeping. So it's good to be back in the city.
Yeah, it's been too long since I've been out the city, apparently, that you're like, the suburbs fucking slap, bro. This is
the best day.
I have a parking space. This is crazy.
It was a good time, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. That's fantastic, guys. I love that. That is the show, listeners. We hope you enjoyed it. You can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com, Fourtress spelled F-O-U-R. Feel free to email us any questions, feedback, recommendations, or anything like that. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube channel at The Fourtress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the Bollywood 3 R's. Rate, review, and recommend us to any and everyone you know. Thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Thank you, Brian, for the art, Alex for the music, and Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. Next week, I don't know if you'll be here, Alex, but Brian, I know you will be, because it is finally, question mark, to wrap up Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna skip that one. Yep. I haven't watched one damn episode.
Oh, we gotta get
you got like 90 episodes.
Is it the final, or is it the pre-final?
I'm not. I don't know.
There's gonna be more.
It's hard to say anything. It might just be the first 5 minutes of the final, for all we know.
Yeah, who knows?
That's fair.
But that is going to be what's happening next week. Very exciting. We'll see what happens there. And as usual, happy holidays. To put a code on, it's code out there.
No, it's Halloween. Not. The global warming is literally going to kill us within 5 years.
Yeah, honestly.
It's very warm this weekend.
It is. It's real weird. It's October. Anyways, we'll see you here next week, listeners, in another episode in the Fourtress of...